So today I want to talk through the new funds that Vanguard have just released. One in particular, which is the All World Fund with a particularly low fee of 0.7%, and then also the Global Small Cap. And then what I want to do is compare a single fund versus what you might be able to do with a two-fund portfolio and just look at why and if you should do that. Again, none of this is financial advice. I do actually hold a Vanguard fund myself, which I'll cover off. It's not one of these, obviously, because it's new and it's slightly different. The one I hold is a all-world developed fund. Anyway, so what they've launched is three funds. One is a global all cap, one is a global small cap, and the other one is an all world but excludes the US market. So if we look at the global all cap, which you should now be able to see. So this is the fund. The ticker is VALL, VALL. And what this is intended to do is it covers large, medium, and small cap stocks. So it does cover everything, but it also covers the developed world and emerging markets. So the fund I alluded to, which I have, doesn't have emerging markets. It just covers the developed world. However, what's really interesting about this latest fund is the ongoing charge of 0.07%. And I've got a couple of slides in a minute that I'll go on to give that fee some context. The other fund that I wanted to focus on was the small cap. This has got a ticker of VSML, and this covers, as you would expect, just small caps. And again, this will be across the total market, companies that represent approximately the smallest 10% of the total market. So again, I've used 10% as a comparison later on. So this fee is 0.22%, which it's okay. It's a lot higher than 0.77. And that's important because don't forget that all cap fund or all world fund does cover small caps as well. If we revert back to the VALL fund, so worth noting again, it's 0.07. There is an equivalent index fund, which Vanguard also do, which I will show you, which is this one here with a great ticker symbol. So this is a global all cap index fund as opposed to an ETF. And this does also, so it's a like for like comparison. This also does large, medium, and small companies within the fund. And this has a OCF or ongoing charge of 0.23%. So it's in effect the same as the new ETF, caveat to that, which I'll come back to, but it's at 0.23%. This represents or has a number of stocks of 7,500, whereas, and this is when I say issue, this is the challenge we've currently got with these new funds. There's currently no information on the number of stocks to be included. And also, when we go into the portfolio data, there's currently no information around how that is allocated across the various different markets and what the weighting exposure is in terms of sectors. But what's really good about this is the fee. So if you were looking for something which gave you exposure pretty much to the whole world across developed and emerging markets, large, medium, and small caps, it's certainly something to consider. So another reason why it's worth considering is if I just bring up a couple of slides just to show you. Yep, so hopefully you can see that. So what I've done here is I just talked about the new fund, which is VAL, and that has an ongoing charge of 0.07%. So if you had a £10,000 investment, that will be a £7 annual fee. If you had a £100,000 investment, that would be £70 per annum. I talked about the direct comparator, which is an index fund. So it gives you exactly the same coverage as VAL, and that's currently at 0.23%. So against the £10,000 portfolio, that's £23, or the 100k portfolio, that's £230. So there's a significant difference already. So if you move across to the right, if we took our initial investment of £100,000, assumed an annual growth rate of 6%, and what this has then done is taken off the respective ongoing charges. So your return for the new portfolio or the new fund for VAL will be 5.93, versus 5.77. 1 year's fee we've just covered off is 70 versus 230, so you'd be paying £160 more. But this is interesting. As you look at how that compounds over a period of 20 years, your fund would grow to £316,500 versus 307,000. So that's just over £9,500 less, and that's the difference between the fees. So on an annual basis, 160, still not insignificant amount of money. But if you compound that over 20 years, that then does make quite a considerable difference in terms of the fees. What I thought would be also useful to look at is, and this is where the small cap comes in, is you could theoretically build the equivalent of that global all world, which includes large, medium, and small caps, but do it through two different funds. And you could do that using, and let me show you. So you could use the new small cap fund, VSML, or you could use something like VWRP, which I know is a popular fund. So what this does is it looks at large, medium companies. Currently has 3,700 stocks, and it has an ongoing charge of 0.14%. We go back to the small cap. Again, we don't know the number of stocks that covers, but it has an ongoing charge of 0.23%. There is actually a index fund equivalent of the small cap, which let me just see if I can find that. So remember that our new fund for small caps is 0.22%, it's the one at the bottom here. So if you look at the equivalent index fund, so that has 4,106 holdings, that will have an ongoing charge of 0.29%. So again, even more expensive. But the point I was going to make was that you've got VALL, which is the new fund which is available, and that gives you the whole market, large, medium, and small caps across developed and emerging markets for 0.07%. But you could build your own using what I just talked about, which is VWRP and the new small cap fund. However, if you did that, I was just looking at what the costs would be of doing that. So what we've got here is a comparison of a single fund approach, so VAL, which is the new fund. So we've already worked out that on a 100k portfolio at the 0.07%, that will be £70 for the year. But if you did try and replicate that across the two fund split, that would cost you £148. So 0.148%. And what that assumes is that 90% of it is made up of, which will be VWRP. So that global fund, which looked at large and medium cap stocks only, and the new small cap fund, which I think is VSML, and that would be 10% of it. So you've got an ongoing charge for VWRP of 0.14%, plus the ongoing charge for the new small cap fund of 0.22%, which gives you an overall ongoing cost of 0.148%. So again, you can see immediately that's still over double the cost of the single fund. So you've got an annual difference at £78. And then again, I've just done a comparator here over, a 20-year investment horizon. You would see a difference of just over £4,500 at the end of that period. Now, some might say that's not a huge amount of money, but I would suggest for pretty much exactly the same fund and investment profile, you're saving a significant or making a significant amount more money from your investments. So unless there's a specific reason, I'll come on to this, why you'd want to do that. If you just wanted to replicate what VAL is able to give you, then VAL might be the thing to consider. Reasons why you might decide to go with the two fund approach is because you might want to put more of your weighting, i.e. more of your investment into the small cap. So rather than in the 90-10 split that this currently assumes, you might go, I think small caps are going to do really well, so I want 25% of my 100k in small caps. So what you would then actually see is an even larger ongoing charge, because a higher percentage of your overall portfolio would be in the 0.22% charge. So you'd see that on the screen here, that 0.148% increase. But I think if I was looking to set up and I wanted a very straightforward all-world fund that pretty much captured everything including small caps, then I would certainly consider this new fund. Obviously, we don't have much information at the moment on it because it's only just been set up. So when I go into the portfolio data, there's nothing in here around, like I said earlier, the weighting, the exposure, how it's allocated across the markets. And I might be tempted to wait for a little bit if I was looking to change over, because it's early days for this fund, so there won't be a huge amount of money in the fund, and there may be some, when I say liquidity issues, it might just take a while for it to settle down. But it's certainly something worth considering, especially given the level of the fees. Anyway, hope that's been useful. If it has, then please do consider dropping a like. And if you want more content like this, or you want to follow my journey as I look to leave the corporate world and retire early, then please do consider subscribing. Many thanks.